Join me as I take on the challenge of testing my faith in God. Let's see how far I can really go when I put my trust to the test. Trusting God is one of those things that sounds easy, but when life gets tough, it's a whole different story. It's like we all want to say we trust Him, but do we really? Think about it. Our faith is built on trust. It's the foundation of everything we believe. But let's be real, it's not always easy. Life gets crazy, and suddenly we're faced with situations that make us question everything. We've all been there, faced with a situation that makes us wonder if God is really in control. Fear creeps in, uncertainty takes over, and before we know it, we're doubting everything we thought we knew about trusting God. Maybe it's a health scare, a financial struggle, or a relationship issue. Whatever it is, it's easy to let those doubts consume us. I know I've been there, and I'm guessing you have too. Sometimes it's our past experiences that make it hard to trust. Maybe God didn't show up the way we expected Him to. Or maybe we're still hurt from something that happened. Whatever the reason, it's hard to shake off those feelings of doubt and uncertainty. And then there are times when we're just plain scared. Scared of what's next, scared of the unknown, scared of not being in control. It's in those moments that we have to remind ourselves of who God is. He's the one who's been with us through every up and down, every triumph and every failure. He's the one who's promised to never leave us or forsake us. But even with that knowledge, it's still hard to trust sometimes. The Bible is full of stories about people who struggled with trusting God. Take Abraham, for example. God told him to leave his home and family, promising to make him the father of a great nation. But Abraham didn't have all the answers. He had to trust that God knew what He was doing. And you know what? It paid off. Or take David, who wrote about trusting God in the Psalms. He faced so much opposition and hardship, but he kept coming back to the fact that God was his rock, his refuge. I've had my own experiences with trusting God too, times when I had to choose between trusting Him and trusting myself. And let me tell you, it's not always easy. But the times when I've chosen to trust Him, even when it didn't make sense, have been the times when I've seen Him show up in amazing ways. One story that stands out to me is about a woman who was diagnosed with a serious illness. She had just become a Christian, and this diagnosis shook her faith to its core. But instead of giving up, she chose to trust God. She started praying, seeking Him, and trusting Him with her life, and you know what? She ended up being healed. But more than that, she gained a deeper understanding of who God is and how much He loves her. As I look back on my own life, I realize that trusting God isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to take that step into the unknown. It's about choosing to believe that He's got a plan, even when I don't see it. And I think that's what it means to truly trust Him. In the end, it's about learning to trust God. Not just when things are going well, but when they're not. It's about choosing to believe that He's good, even when life isn't. And I think that's where the real transformation happens. So I want to leave you with this thought. No matter what you're going through, no matter how hard it is to trust, I encourage you to take that step. Choose to trust God, even when it doesn't make sense. If you like me, so subscribe me and like me.